came across an article that was kind of flying around on LinkedIn that was talking about how leaders in organizations right now, bosses, are wrestling and grappling with the Gen Z workforce is quickly dominating the workplace, and how much senior leaders and leaders in organizations are struggling with this, and the expectations and the demands of Gen Z and all of this stuff. And as I read through the article, my two biggest reactions to this were, first of all, one, Gen Z is not a monogamous, like just group of people that all think, act, and behave this. I hate this crap. I literally hate this crap where people are painted with a broad stroke brush and we go, men are like this, women are like this, trans people are like this, Gen Z is like this. Like, stop it. They are individuals. There are individuals behind every single one of those people that have unique circumstances, unique stories, unique situations, unique wants, desires, needs. Like, they're individuals. So let's just not talk about how Gen Z is such a tough generation for leadership to cope with, because I know tons of Gen Zers who are phenomenal. I know tons of Gen Zers who are going through the cycle of what it's like to figure out who you are in your professional identity. And maybe you're pushing against things in a way that pisses off certain people. Like, they're people, they're human beings going through a certain phase in their life. And so, might there be some general trends of how they're prioritizing things? Yes, that stage in life is a different stage in life. And a lot of the things that, as I read the article, if Gen Z cares about this, like, when I was in my mid 20s, I cared about that too. And it was super important to me. And I looked at what companies were doing and went, how stupid is that? You should just do it different, because I had very little experience and expertise in how things work. Like, I get it. Yeah. Okay. So there might be some general trends with that. Might be some general trends about the stage of life or the things that are important to them. But for every person who has that personality, I can think of a Gen Zer who I've talked to who said, yeah, I don't care about that. Oh, Gen Z wants to be in the office and have mentorship. And then I talked to somebody the other day. I hate going to the office. Like, and I don't want to be around my coworkers or any more than I have to. Like, wait, though, aren't you Gen Z? Don't you adhere to this generational stereotype? We got to quit with this crap. And I think, honestly, that's part of the problem. Like, reading the article and listening to how a lot of companies are handling this, like, what do we do with Gen Z workers? We're trying ping pong tables and therapy. Like, well, maybe start by not treating them like they're all this universal group of people who think and act and want the same freaking thing. That's a good start. So some of it was a little like, let's maybe just quit labeling them all with this universal label that is just honestly offensive. It's honestly offensive. Um, and like I say all the time, do stereotypes come from somewhere? Sure. And might there be some truth in them? Maybe, but they're always incomplete. And so Gen Z is not a certain way workplaces and bosses need to grapple with. Okay. So that's what, first of all, sets me off. The second thing that sets me off is, as I listen to the article go into the things these bosses are grappling with, I look at them and go, why is this so hard? Why is it so hard to help your employees find purpose in their work? Why is it so hard to make them feel like they're cared about and developed and that they have connection within the organization they work in? Is that you're grappling with that? If you're a boss and you're grappling with that, listen, I'm about to launch a digital leadership program that I'll be leading. Join the program. I'll work with you and I'll help you realize how not to grapple with Gen Z, because I've had plenty of Gen Zers under my leadership over the years, and I've never grappled with them. I've never struggled to figure out what to do with them. Have there been struggles? Sure. But that doesn't, like, I've never just universally gone, man, these Gen Zers are a Rubik's Cube I can't figure out. And as I looked at the things, air quote, the Gen Z wants, to me, they're things that just basic human decency, like things that I would think are completely reasonable asks. And the reality is, and here's the other thing, excuse me, pisses me off about it is there are things that people in other generations care about too, but other generations have become salty and callous to some of this stuff and just have learned it's not going to change. And so I've just learned to put up with it. And so the new generation's coming in going, hey, but that's not okay. And I'm not fine with that. And we need to change things for the better. And you get the generations that have been around for a while that are like, yeah, we've been saying that on the engagement survey for the last 20 years. Ain't got us anywhere. And so just because the Gen Zers are the new loud ones, the new squeaky wheels, bringing up the things that are important, doesn't mean the other generations go, we don't care about that. I love feeling like I'm treated like a servant and just a cog in a wheel. I love going to work and not knowing if what I do matters one bit and that the company doesn't care about anything. Like, have you talked to anybody who's ever said that's how I actually feel about work? No, I know I. So as I read through this, I think we just need to be really careful about stereotyping. It is so dangerous. It will get you into so many tough spots. You will end up making assumptions about people that are completely wrong. Your best bet is to get to know people on an individual level and find out what's really important to them. And when you actually build trusting relationships with these people, well, then you know what? They're going to be 1,000 times more inclined to work with you and be awesome employees. And some of the best people I've led have been ones who have been young and hungry and wanted to do things. And I've been able to work with them and shape and mold and help them figure out what matters, not figure out what they're going to do for me, but help them figure out what's important to them and then set them on the right trajectory. And when you do that, people, not just Gen Zers, people will blow your mind. So there you go with that one. This one got me a little more riled. Gosh, it's weird. That one got me more riled than even my own personal situation. But I think the other thing is subtle plug. I'm hinting at something that's going to be coming out soon. I am going to be launching my digital leadership coaching, both cohort and individual coaching stuff that I will be offering to people. And so truly, well, I got a little feisty there. If you're someone who really is struggling or you just want to be a better leader in general, let me know because it's an area I have spent a lot of time focusing on. And as a learning and human cognitive development specialist in this, it happens to be something I know a thing or two about.